Hi, I've done quite a few videos on how to deliver feedback, but what if you're the one receiving the feedback? How should you receive it? Well, let's stop calling it feedback, shall we? Let's just call it what it is. It's criticism. Negative feedback is criticism. That's all it is. Positive feedback is praise. We call it feedback to kind of protect our feelings in a way, don't we? You're being criticized is going to hurt, because it shows you that you are falling short of the standards you set yourself. You are not doing quite as well as you thought. And that's going to be quite painful. And so our reaction sometimes is to get defensive, to justify ourselves, make excuses. Sometimes we'll lash out and we'll attack back, criticize back. None of this is particularly helpful. A few things on this is, first of all, let's just acknowledge everyone's fear of conflict. And when someone actually gives you negative feedback, they are potentially entering into conflict, and that's quite scary. It takes a bit of bravery. It takes a bit of bravery, of courage to give you feedback, especially if you don't have the strongest relationship sometimes. And so we shouldn't be ungrateful for this. I mean, they say feedback is a gift, and yes, it literally is a gift. And when we get defensive and lash out, we're rejecting the gift. I'm assuming it is a gift. Sometimes it's not a gift at all. Sometimes we're delivering it to hurt you or to manipulate you or something like that. And that's not a gift. But when it is delivered with positive intent, it's definitely a gift, and we shouldn't reject it out of hand. We shouldn't be ungrateful for the bravery or the risk that they've taken. So how could we respond to this? Well, with exploratory questions. We should listen. And we should ask why and how and what and where and when, and not questions with a view to justifying yourself or picking apart their criticism. Yeah, it's questions to understand better what they say and what they mean, and really, get as much out of this as you can. Now, should you believe the criticism? Well, it might not be true. It's just their perception. You've got your perception, they've got theirs. Chances are neither of you are completely right. It might be useful for you to approach a third party, somebody else, or a number of other people, and seek out feedback from others and say, hey, Joe mentioned this to me. He gave me some feedback on this, and it surprised me. I didn't have that perception. I'd be really interested in knowing your honest opinion on this. Is Joe right? Is this, should I change approach? Should I do this a bit differently, and so on? And that can be quite a useful approach. So there we are. Try not to lash out. Try to accept it as an act of courage and bravery. Explore it with the other person. And if you do this, chances are people will give you more feedback in the future. They'll come to you with more gifts. And ultimately, if you can take this on the chin, despite your initial reaction, if you can act on it and seek to improve how you do things, improve your methods, your behaviors, and all the rest of it, you're going to make life so much easier for yourself and for other people too. And if you do that consistently over 10, 15, 20 years, you're going to be twice, 3 times, 10 times the person, 10 times the professional you are now, because you'll get this cumulative effect, which just makes you a hell of a lot better at all of the things you do. There we are. Take it on the chin. If you've got feedback for me, in the comments below, I'll do my best to take it in the spirit it's intended.